Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to break down the picks for Monday, April 1st. I promise you there will be no April's Fool's jokes in today's picks and plays, so let's get into it. First, let's take a look at how we did yesterday. We had two tough losses with the Astros and the Marlins both losing after the ninth inning. So that really hurt us as we lost both of them. We just needed one to break our way. So total we lost $248, which puts us month to date minus 77. Obviously, since we launched the channel, only 4 days left in the month. That's how we're going to finish the month, $77 down. But that's not really a big loss over 4 days, and we'll get it back in April. The first two games we have to look at are the Atlanta Braves at the Chicago White Sox and the Colorado Rockies at the Chicago Cubs. We like both of the heavy favorites, the Braves money line at minus 235 and the Cubs money line at minus 225. If we parlay them together, we'll get plus 106. I think that's a good bet. First off, against the Braves, we have the White Sox pitching Chris Flexen on the mound. Last year, he was 2-8 with an almost 7 ERA, so he was not good last year. Now he comes over to the White Sox, and he's about to make his White Sox debut in Chicago, which is a hitter-friendly park. The Braves' offense has already been rolling all weekend, so I don't think it's going to slow down. And then the Cubs have Imanaga on the mound making his debut at Wrigley Field. The Cubs had a really breakout game yesterday. They scored 9 runs. They looked a lot better against Texas than Colorado did against Arizona. So we're confident in that parlay. And then in the White Sox-Braves game, we also like Ozzie Albies and Matt Olson to each get a hit. Matt Olson maybe even to hit a home run. And then in the Cubs game, we like Suzuki, Bellinger, and Bush to all get a hit. On opening day, we ran the exact same 3-player hit parlay and hit it. So I think that we're going to run it back on the Cubs home opener. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates at the Washington Nationals and the Kansas City Royals at the Baltimore Orioles. First up in the Pittsburgh-Washington game, we like the Washington Nationals first 5. They have Mackenzie Gore on the mound. Oddly enough, in the first 4 games in Miami, Pittsburgh faced a lefty all 4 starts, and they went 4-0. However, in the first 5, they went 2-2. So they didn't always get off to the best start against the left-handers. And then Gore at home has an ERA 1.00 better, so he's a better pitcher at home. He was really good in April last year, too. He didn't start to falter a little bit more till the end of the season. And also, he was much better in innings 1 through 5. It was the 6th and the 7th where his ERA really blew up. So we like the Nationals in that game. And then we like, in the Kansas City-Baltimore game, we like the Orioles money line at minus 160. Baltimore really looked strong all weekend long against the Los Angeles Angels. Kansas City broke out yesterday with the big 11-run game with 5 home runs. However, with Waka on the mound against Kramer. Kramer had the better year last year. The Baltimore Orioles have the better lineup, so we're going to go with that route. And then Anthony Santander and Cedric Mullins each to get a hit. They're both lefties. Waka being a righty. They have a bunch of at-bats against Waka already with some success, so we're going to go with those two to get a hit. The next 2 games are the Cincinnati Reds at the Philadelphia Phillies and the Los Angeles Angels at the Miami Marlins. In the Cincinnati-Philadelphia game, we like the Reds first 5. The Reds have Andrew Abbott on the mound. Last year, his rookie year, he was 8-6 with a sub-4 ERA and was really good for the Reds. Also being a lefty, the Philadelphia Phillies have Schwarber, Harper, Stott, and Marsh that they run out as lefties, so that's 4 lefties, so I think there's an advantage there for the Reds. Yesterday they faced a lefty. They actually benched Marsh and Stott and started Sosa and Pache, so that's not even their most effective lineup if they go that route. So either you got 4 lefties in the lineup or you have your less effective lineup. So we like the Reds first 5. We also like Jonathan India to get a hit. He's a righty against Sanchez, the lefty. He hits leadoff, so he'll get 5 at-bats, so I think he can get a hit in the game. And then Andrew Abbott over 5.5 strikeouts. Last year, his rookie year, he pitched 109 innings and had 120 strikeouts. He's a power arm that gets a lot of whiffs, so I think that's a good bet. And then in the Los Angeles-Miami game, we like Jazz Chisholm to get a hit. He's a lefty against the righty Silseth, so I think he can get a hit. We don't like either side in the game. Miami, obviously 0-4, looked really weak with a bullpen that imploded. They lost the lead twice. And then the Angels obviously didn't look great against the Orioles either, so we'll just stay away from it from a who's going to win perspective. The next 2 games up are the Texas Rangers at the Tampa Bay Rays and the Detroit Tigers at the New York Mets. In the Rangers-Rays game, we like the Tampa Bay Rays money line. They have Pepillo on the mound. He was the big centerpiece in the Tyler Glasnow trade. And the Rays really do their homework on pitching, and that's the guy they wanted to get rid of their ace Glasnow, so he obviously is pretty good. Last year he had a sub 2.2 ERA for the Dodgers in his limited time there, so he's already showing that he can be a dominant arm, so we like Tampa Bay in that game. And then in the Tigers-Mets game, we like the Tigers money line at plus 115. And then we like Torkelson and Baez to each get a hit. Last year, Manaea was not very good. He had an ERA just sub 4.5. and he was not very effective. So he comes over to the Mets in the offseason to try to prove himself, but I think he throws the ball straight a lot, not a lot of movement. He's just a power arm. That's why we like Torkelson and Baez to get a hit, because he's a lefty. They're both righties, and he just throws the ball straight without a lot of movement. It's the type of pitcher that Torkelson and Baez really have an advantage over. Next up, you have the Toronto Blue Jays at the Houston Astros and the Boston Red Sox at the Oakland Athletics. In the Toronto-Houston game, we're not going to bet anything. We're going to stay away from this game. You have Francis making his starting debut for the Toronto Blue Jays. Last year, he came out of the pen for them a couple times. Blanco, he's only made a handful of starts in his entire career. He did start against the Blue Jays last year. He pitched 6 innings and gave up 2 runs, so he looked pretty good. However, this year so far, the Astros have had the lead in all 4 games against the Yankees and couldn't hold it with their bullpen. They have not looked good at all, so we're just going to stay away from this game altogether. And then the Boston-Oakland game, we like the Boston Red Sox money line at -140. Obviously, Oakland's going to lose a lot of games. They were the worst team in baseball last year. They're already off to a 1-3 record against the Guardians. Boston has the better team. Houck is on the mound. He didn't have the best year last year, but he was still effective at times. He didn't face Oakland at all, so there's no data there against the two of them against each other. But he is the better pitcher than Boyle, and Boston's the better team, so we're going to go with Boston on the money line. Next up, we have the Cleveland Guardians at the Seattle Mariners and the St. Louis Cardinals against the San Diego Padres. In the Cleveland Guardian and Seattle Mariner matchup, we like the Guardians money line -115. Hancock only has 3 career starts. He had a 4.5 ERA, so he doesn't have a lot of experience. McKenzie's the much more experienced pitcher. Last year, he only made 4 starts. He had some injuries, but he seems to be past those. He came into spring training healthy, and he looks like he's going to have a healthy season. And in his career, he has a sub-4 ERA with over a strikeout an inning. He's a power pitcher, has a lot of swing and miss stuff. So we like Cleveland in that one. Plus, they have a good bullpen, too. So if they get the lead early with McKenzie on the mound, they can probably hold it. So we'll take Cleveland money line. And then in the St. Louis-San Diego game, we're going to bet nothing. We're going to stay away from this game. Matt Waldron has very few starts in the league, so we probably lean towards St. Louis because Gibson's much more experienced. However, the Cardinals just had their hands full with the Dodgers. Their bullpen hasn't looked great to actually hold the lead. San Diego's offense has looked really good. They've put up some big run totals already in their first 5 games. Or 6 games, so we're just going to stay away from this game altogether. The last 2 games of the day are the New York Yankees at the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Francisco Giants at the LA Dodgers. First up in the Yankees-Arizona game, the Yankees are throwing Luis Gil. Last year, he spent the entire year in the minors, and he's only made 7 career starts. And then Ryan Nelson made 21 starts and had an ERA above 5. So you have 2 pitchers that we're not really sure about. And the Yankees in Arizona, both offenses looked really good over the weekend. So this could be a high-scoring game. I maybe want to take the over, but I'm just going to stay away. I am going to take Juan Soto to get a hit. Ryan Nelson pitching for the Diamondbacks. Juan Soto playing for the Padres last year. He does have 11 at-bats against them with a .273 average and 2 home runs. It's a lefty-righty matchup that we like, and Juan Soto hits second in the lineup, so he gets a lot of at-bats. So we'll like Soto in there. And then the Dodgers and Giants game, we're not going to bet anything here. Paxton on the mound for the Dodgers. He had a nice comeback year for the Red Sox last year. Big left-hander. The Dodgers are really big minus favorites, so they're probably going to win, I guess. But we don't like laying more than -180. I don't really have a parlay partner, and just because you're minus over 200 doesn't mean you're going to win. So I think it's best to just stay away from this game altogether. Okay, that does it for today's game. So if you want, leave a comment. I'll try to get to as many as I can and reply. Let me know what you think of the analysis. Let me know if you're going to try to tail me or fade me. Let me know what's going on. And then if you can click the like and subscribe button, it'll go a long way for me as I try to launch this channel. Click on the notification bell. You guys will get notified when I post my videos in the mornings on the day of the games. That way you can be a little bit more informed before you make your bets. And then last, you can follow me on Twitter or on Instagram at Sportsbook Whisper, no vowels in Sportsbook. That's where I post my final plays. So the video is just leans. I'm recording this really early in the morning, the day of the games, or maybe really late at night, the night before. So I don't have all the latest information, injuries, lineups being posted. So after I post this video, I monitor these plays that I put on here, and then right before, about an hour to 2 hours before game time, I tweet out or put on Instagram what the final plays are. So hopefully we can have a winning day today, guys, after the loss yesterday, and I will see you all tomorrow.